My 350-kilometer drive to northwestern Manitoba would take me north on Manitoba Highway 10 from Swan River to the town of The Pas, then onward to Baker's Narrows Lodge on the shore of Lake Athapapusco, 20 kilometers south of the town of Flin Flon. Alright, I've just arrived in The Pas, Manitoba. Very cool courthouse here from 1916, brick building. Looks like it's one of the oldest buildings in town. Now it is the Sam Wallace Museum, so very interesting. Another roadside attraction. This is an Indigenous teepee. There are many First Nations groups around the surrounding area here in The Pas. So you can see here, part of that First Nations Indigenous culture is the traditional teepee that you can see here. Very cool. This is an authentic teepee with canvas wrap. You can see the sticks forming the structure. Just like fire, no denying. I know we won't be late. After a nice 3.5-hour drive, I've arrived at the Baker's Narrows Lodge here on the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. So I'm going to be spending the next 24 hours or so at this beautiful lodge, enjoying the Manitoba wilderness, doing some canoeing and so forth, and say goodbye to Manitoba tomorrow morning as I prepare for the journey home. Just checked into my cabin here at the Baker's Narrows Lodge, and I have number 20, so it looks decent in terms of space, and nice rustic log cabin. Full barbecue access, free boats and everything else, really cool. So you can see they give you a single and a double bed. Just note that they have sagging beds here. A small little kitchenette area with microwave and coffee facilities at least, but there is no stovetop or anything like that. You have to use the grill outside. And I have a wonderful view of the lake. So it is a pretty well-equipped resort. They do include all of these watercraft for pleasure use. So you can have the pedal boats, kayaks, or canoes. They also have a water slide here, you can see, for the kids, and an offshore pontoon. You can't go wrong with the amenities here though, in any stretch. So beautiful scenery, lovely northern Manitoba. The water is chilly though, so I wouldn't necessarily say it is swimming temperature, but nice to wade around in at least. It's not bad. Getting used to it pretty quickly, but it is slightly chilly. So I decided to grab one of the resort's canoes and head out on the water a little bit. It's about 5:30 p.m. or so right now. So I do have about, 3 or 4 hours today and about 4 hours tomorrow to enjoy it before checkout. So beautiful place though. You can see the Canadian Shield rock on this little island. There's Highway 10 over there in the distance. Very nice afternoon for some canoeing on the lake. There's a few waves though with all the speed boats in the water, but nothing that I can't handle, of course. So this lake is called Lake Athapapusco. Athapapusco. At the micro cottages. Whew, there's a lot of insects coming out now. So I just finished up dinner. I just barbecued some steaks over at the cabins, and I'm gonna call it an early night tonight. It's only about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening right now, but I'm wiped from lots of canoeing on the water and so forth, so I'm gonna have an early night and wake up really early. I'm getting eaten alive now. There's so many mosquitoes out. Alright, I'm just about to head out now. I'm going to say goodbye to the Baker's Narrows Lodge. and make my way to Flin Flon and beyond. So again, yeah, these micro cottages are okay. I mean, they're a bit overpriced considering a full 3-bedroom cottage runs for about $40 more. So I just finished up barbecuing some smokies for lunch. This will be my last meal at the lake before I head up to Flin Flon and then onward to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan for the night. Back into the car and heading out of here. All right, I just pulled into Flin Flon, Manitoba, right here on the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. I'm going to look around town here for under an hour and then make my way on one of the most isolated highways in Canada to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. I'm going to go check out the city's mascot, my next roadside attraction here, and probably the last one here in Manitoba. So this is the Station Museum, the main museum here in the very small town of Flin Flon. This is the actual CP rail station that is no longer used. You can't get a train from here anymore, but back in the day, this was a fully functional train station here in the north of Manitoba. All right, and here's the famous Flintabity Flonatan Flin Flon statue in Flin Flon. So again, dedicated to a character from a book that was found in the wilderness by gold prospectors in the area, and they named the town after the character, Flin Flon. What's probably more interesting than the statue is the beautiful rugged terrain around these parts. You can see that mining is still a huge industry here. There's a lot of open pit mines around town, and here's one of the major processing facilities. You can see this impressive smokestack. This is very tall, probably close to 100 to 200 meters. Very cool. A lot of heavy industry here in Flin Flon. All right, and entering downtown Flin Flon, Manitoba. Seems really cute. Really hilly. You get your exercise if you lived here, that's for sure. All right, so it is the St. George's Ukrainian Greek Orthodox Church. It definitely has a mining town vibe to it, so it's definitely not the most, beautiful city in the world, but you can see there is a lot of historic buildings down here. And it does have kind of a rough around the edges flair to it. All right, I'm at the Neighbors of the North Park, which is the actual boundary between Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So you can see right there in the middle, you can barely see it, but the Manitoba welcome sign. And looking this way is Saskatchewan. So goodbye Manitoba. I thoroughly explored this province, which feels really good. Just a few blocks away, I have now crossed into the province of Saskatchewan, so it's just about 11 hours or so from here to Calgary, and I am officially halfway home. All right, I'm traveling up Saskatchewan Highway 106, which is one of the most remote highways in the province. It's a beautiful drive, but there is tons of water on the road after that massive rainstorm. The clouds are very low to the ground, as you can see ahead. I know there's some tornadoes happening, touching down in southern Manitoba. Just about 3.5 hours after leaving Flin Flon, I've arrived in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, which is the 3rd largest city in this province. Going to be spending the night here and then off to explore the national park tomorrow.